Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Sachin Kumar. I welcome you all to this invited lecture on digital technologies and higher education for refresher course on redefining ethics in the era of digitization from theory and practice. I am an assistant professor at Cluster Innovation Center, University of Delhi. I work in the area of artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and computational social science. I would like to thank college administration and the team for offering this course, which is quite relevant course, and giving me this opportunity to give my views and my insights about digital technologies in the higher education. So we will start this course with this outline. First, I'll discuss about digital technologies, in which I'll discuss about three terms, basically digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation. I'll discuss about the digitalization and uses of app on App Store. I'll discuss about how digital transformation is completely changing the education system and how teaching learning systems are working. I'll also discuss the digital transformation of learning environment around us in universities, in academic institutions, in research institutions, uh, and what is actually happening and what structural changes are taking place. I'll discuss about the impact of COVID-19 and how digital education came in forefront to save the teaching and learning environment and provided some tools and technologies so that we are able to deliver information, deliver content, and impart knowledge to our students, and are able to perform other related educational related processes. I'll also discuss how digital technologies provide tool developments and helps in curriculum design. Then I'll discuss about some of the challenges which have been posed by digital technologies and its associated softwares and the tools. And I'll take some of the specific cases related to Indian higher education system, that how the authorities and the learning, how the authorities and academic institutions are taking up digital transformation, and in what direction they are going, and how government policy is working in that direction. So let's start this lecture with introduction to technologies. Introduction to digital technologies. First, we have to understand what is digital technology. We know that after the invention of computer systems, computer has transformed our life, how we interact with our fellow human being, how we interact with the institutions, and how we interact with our government for getting the services, how our society is changing from a initially from agrarian society to the federal society, and then it went into the industrial society, industrial technology society, and now it is going into the digital society mode. So this all is happening in the due to the technological development. But right now we are specifically discussing about digital technologies. So digital technologies are basically electronic tools, systems, devices, and the resources that generate, store, and process the data. For example, we have some very important examples to understand this digital technology. That we have social media, where we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, where we are generating the information, we are storing information, we are processing information, and try to connect and influence the other social media users. We also have online games, we have multimedia information, we have mobile phones. So all these things comes and make a huge part of the digital technologies. So whatever at present we are using to create information, to store information, to transmit that information from one place to another place, and to process that information so that we can get some important insight. These all things comes under digital technologies. And one part of the digital technology, how you are applying this digital technology into the learning platforms or the learning environment, then it is called digital learning. So in digital learning, it is any type of learning that uses technology. Earlier we were using a technology less teaching learning environment in which students were just attending the classes and we were using teacher was imparting the lecture. But now things have changed, curriculum has changed, and the way we interact, the way we assess the student, the way we share information with the student with the help of learning, that is changing. So that is digital learning. But it is not all about that once you have accomplished this type of task or this type of process, then you have become completely digital learning oriented. It is a state in which you are going into the deeper state of the learning using digital technologies. The new terms comes that is called digital transformation. It is basically a process of using digital technologies to create new or modify the existing systems, business systems, ecosystems, cultures, and how society is structured, customer experiences, to meet the demand of the new challenges, emerging emerging requirements in each of the domain, in businesses, in social interactions, in government and citizen interaction. So if you are using technology which is completely modifying the way things are being done or things are being processed, then it is called digital transformation. A very simple example to understand is the implementation of the GST. Earlier we were using pen and paper related documents and we were filing our taxes and all these things, but now with the help of the digital platform created by government of India, the way we interact and file our income tax return or the GST returns or GST related information, that has completely changed. So this is called the digital transformation of a particular domain with the help of digital technology. But if we go little bit more specifically in digitalization or digital transformation, so we have basically these three terms which we use in our literature. So we'll discuss these three terms in detail. First one is digitization, second one is digitalization, and the third one is some part of that we have already discussed, the digital transformation. Let's come to discuss the digitization. Digitization is a very simple process in which you have an analog information, or analog information you can say, the information which we were saving in the form of paper. Okay, we were writing information on the paper so that we can save that information for a longer period or share that information with somebody else. So if you have that information and if you are converting that information into the digital format, then it is called digitization of the information. For example, government is going for the land record digitization. So what is happening? At present, government have records written in the files which are very old files, and government want to process that information and make the digital version of those files. So what is happening? Government is now taking all the old land records which are we can say that they are in analog form, and converting all those forms in the digital files. So those files can be your PDF files, your document files, your image files. Okay, so it means that you are converting the information into the digital format. So this process is called the digitization. But now, how you use that information and how you transmit that information from one place to another place, or how you analyze that information, those processes do not change in digitization. When we come to the digitalization, in digitalization, the information which you have already changed in digitization process, it will, the process is associated with that information, how you are getting that information, how you are searching that information, how you are finding the important knowledge or information from those records, digitized records, then it is called digitalization. So it means what is happening, that you have the digitalization is you have a digital data and you want to simplify how you use that digital data to do your work. So the process of using digitized information to make established way of working simpler and more efficient is called digitalization. So the basic methodology of computer service did not change, but the process of finding an inquiry, looking up of the information and the relevant data in the digitized information, that is called digitalization. Digital transformation is the next step, and it is very transformative steps, in which what happens that you are not only modifying how the system is working. In digitalization you are not changing the system is working as it was working before, but you have means uh, made it more efficient. In digitization you have just converted information into the digital format, but in digital for transformation what happens that you understand the system in completely new format. You may develop some new insights, and you may, using the technology, can change entirely complete business, complete system, complete function of the society, complete function of one particular community, how their interaction is taking place. So all these things you can completely change by introducing some software, by introducing some tool, or by introducing some digital technology. So this is called digital transformation. To understand digital transformation in very easy manner, you can understand that if you want to order the food, or if you want to eat the food, earlier we used to go to the restaurant and we used to eat there, but now you don't need to go there, because a a digital platform has come in between, which is Swiggy or Zomato related platform, which are connecting the person who is ordering the food the uh, and the and where food is being prepared, okay, or the soaps owners. So now this service is actually transforming how you are eating the food. So you are at home, you are ordering the food and you are eating. Similarly, how you are making the transactions digitally, financial transaction, that has also completely changed due to the Paytm, Phone Pay, Google Pay, WhatsApp Pay, these type of services which have come. So you can see and you can easily feel that the way we interact with the institution, that has completely changed. Similarly, for the education purpose, you can see that we have earlier we used to go to the school or the educational institutions to get the education, but now with the help of platforms such as Coursera, you don't need to go to the school. You can enroll in the course, you can get evaluated, you can get certificate from the course, and you can also, people can recognize that you have completed this course and you have knowledge up to this level, a intermediate level, or you can say the beginners level of knowledge of that particular course which you have done. So this is the way the systems or the domains or specialized domains or society is actually changing due to the digital technologies and how they are transforming the society. So this whole transformation, whether it is new or it is completely modifying the already existing system, is called digital transformation. We have some specific examples of digital transformation in some industries. For example, in health you have Practo, that is uh, providing you health related information on your fingertips. And we also have hospitality. In hospitality and tourism index, tourism sector, where you have Oyo, which is giving you which is making sure that you have rooms available when you visit tourist places. You also have insurance related startups and the companies such as Policy Bazaar, which is actually giving you lot of options to compare uh, the services of different insurance companies and take up the most feasible and optimal. You can make the most feasible and optimal choice. Similarly, you have the retail, where you want to purchase something and do some commerce related activity. So we have Flipkart and Amazon, and you can see that earlier we used to go to the stores and purchase items, but now due to these companies we do not waste our time, and we focus that time in our some precious activities, and we order these things and automatically it is delivered to us. Similarly, we have education related things and the startups and the companies which are coming in the digital transformation, such as Coursera, Udemy, Byju, and other companies. And you can see the growth and the trend of digitalization in education as well as in other sectors. From this, that now Baiju, which is a very recently born company, that has become an official sponsor of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. If we come to the digital world around us, then we can see that how our society is changing towards digitalization and digital transformation. Our planet has total population of 7.75, and the urbanization is 55%. Penetration of the mobile device, that we have 5.19 mobile users, and so we can say that we have 67% of the mobile user in entire world. But if we see the internet access, then 4.54 have billion are the internet users. So this is the 60% penetration. 59% penetration. So you can see that the digitalization trend, access to the mobile, access to the internet, and through the internet to various other services, it is increasing day by day. Okay, so the more services are being offered by these digital technologies, tools, companies, and the softwares, the more we will see that more people are accessing these services, and new type of or structure of our society, our countries will uh, will completely transform. And this may also have some other challenges in front of us which we need to address. If we talk in terms of the digital transformation in education, we can see that more and more education related startups are coming. And if we come in terms of the funding, then $20.8 billion of educational funding has taken place in 2021 in the previous year, which is the three times to the pre-pandemic levels, because pandemic has explicitly forced educational institutions that they should focus on the digital education delivery. Otherwise, in the physical mode, the problem is that in lockdown and other type of restrictions, physical education or physical mode of learning cannot happen, as well as it is costly. So the people who cannot access the classrooms, they can actually have access to the good quality education through the internet access, because that is cheap. You need to just have one computing device which is having internet connection, and you can pay for the services, education related services, and go. So more and more companies are coming up in China, in USA, in India, and more investors are coming up. They are understanding the need of the investment in this area, so that a good quality, interactive, and very innovative content can be provided to the users, or you can say the students, so that they can learn the concept, and their understanding their things becomes very important for us. Or you can say their education becomes good, or you can say they can also get support by having a physical mode learning as well as the online mode learning. When it comes to the digital transformation in education, so I'll discuss about the three main areas of digital transformation in education. The transformation of the environment in the campus, how the stakeholders are interacting in the environment, and environment of, you can say, the campus environment or college environment, and how that transformation is taking place in the learning methods and as well as in the teaching methods. So if we come to the transformation in campus environment and interaction with stakeholders such as students, teachers, and their admin related activities, so we can see that there is a scope of digital transformation across all student life cycle, and it is happening and increasing day by day. So we have initially the student recruiting, student admission, student placement related things. So they are also being digitized. Industry outreach programs are being conducted, and interface through technology, the interface between industry and the education in the and the educational institution is being created. marketing studies are being deployed, seamless enrollment is also being created for different industry oriented courses. So, and then course design and curriculum frameworks are also being designed in which the course monetization process is there, which is being done through the technological tool and the digital technologies. Teaching methodologies are also changing, where smart boards and other technological contents are coming into picture in the classrooms. Dynamic curriculum is there, and then content related resources are there. Overall administration is also changing, where employee engagement, employee satisfaction, employee retention, so all these things are coming into picture when it comes to the campus transformation, digital transformation using digital technologies. And what else is happening, that social distancing alert management systems are being installed, face mask detection systems are being installed, thermal entry, contact lens attendance in the classroom as well as at the entry level. So these, all these type of things are happening, and the foundation of all of them is the digital technology and the tools based on the digital technologies, information and communication technologies. If we come to the learning environment, that how learning environment is being transformed uh, by the digital technologies, it is completely changed now. Video conferencing solutions and the services are being provided, which were very specific to the specific need initially, but now that is not the case. Art, augmented reality and the virtual realities are coming into the learning systems, and which are increasing or which are making the experience of learning better for the student, because now student can interactively and can in better visualization and animation can see things and how things are working. Adaptive learning is taking place, that student according to the requirement can adapt to the learning, whether that person wants to follow the slow pace learning or high pace learning, so that can be done easily with the help of technologies. Learning apps and platforms are there which are providing very specific and niche kind of services. It is not now generalized service only being provided by the educational institutions, but according to the specific need and according to the interest of the students, learning apps and the platforms and the courses are available. AI and chatbot related services are also available, where the students can constantly interact with the intelligent agent and can get their doubt cleared, as well as ask queries and understand things, so they don't have to wait for the teacher's answers, and they don't have to wait for when the teacher will come and meet them, then only they can get their doubt cleared. So that is not the case. So it is now a 24/7 constant learning environment with better content delivery, with better interaction with the stakeholders, and the better learning environment and the learning experience. If we come to the digital transformation in teaching and learning methods, then we'll say that classrooms have changed with the new technology introduction. Now smart classes are happening with smart technology integration in the classroom. For example, smart boards are being installed which are uh, you can say a large screen having a complete functionality of operating systems, and then they can directly have access to the internet. So whenever teacher is teaching something and there is something which is some gap in front of the students to understand, so that gap can be easily rectified at that point. What is the present status of the content and the information, that can also be understood properly and discussed with the student properly. AI driven online assessments are there. AI based analysis of students is being done. AI enabled remote proctoring is being done. Deeper involvement of the teacher and parents are there, because now teachers and means all the stakeholders are connected through the platforms. So what is the performance of the student and how student is doing, so they are closely interacting and they can get the feedback about the students and what problem student is facing, mental health issues or some other type of issues. For example, could not get the time to complete the homework and what was the reason. So all these things without any gap they can be discussed, make student these technologies, and the learning transformation is actually making a student acquainted with the digital technologies and the tools which are going to be used more and more in coming days. So students are getting the advanced level of understanding in the schools. Personalized learning is taking place. If a student is little bit weak, so that person can own its pace, can understand the content, and can understand the how it should be means understood. It that person can take its own time. We can design self-paced courses, okay, and accordingly the exercises can also be uh, categorized whether they are is means advanced exercise, medium exercise, or beginners level exercise for the course. Then this makes student smarter, because now student is constantly learning, and every whatever doubts student faces, they are automatically addressed. It also motivate the students, and then things happens like that. So it motivates students. uh, it provide extensive learning opportunities to the student, make students more accountable, and most importantly they interact. It makes the peer-to-peer interaction of the students better. So that type of transformation using digital technologies is taking place, and it is going to increase day by day. If we take the specific role of artificial intelligence in education, then we can see that artificial intelligence can provide activity automation, that all the activities such as assessment of the student can be done very easily and automatically, depending on the student abilities and uh, student background. All these things can come into picture. A very adaptive software can be developed. Targeted improvement can also be done, and tutorial supports can also be provided. Helpful desk feedback, information interaction, changing teachers role, trial and error learning, all these things can be done uh, if we integrate artificial intelligence in our education sector. Apart from that, there is change in the learning environment, how we are providing information and imparting knowledge to our students. So artificial intelligence can also be incorporated and integrated for the better understanding of the content by the students. The relevant example related to this is that nowadays China has created two important things. One is they have created artificial intelligent agent for the news reading, as well as they have also created artificial intelligence judge to solve some large scale or large number of court related cases in which the time was very time consuming. They were very time consuming uh, for the human judges, and they were having the similar type of punishment and the judgment related judgments. So in that case, a similar type of situation can arise in education, where artificial intelligence come into picture and can enhance the learning experience, accountability, productivity, and efficiency of the education system. If we see the digital technologies, higher education, and impact of COVID-19, we'll see that it has COVID-19 has created lot of problem for the higher education institutions, because uh, nobody was aware of the things which are going to come due to the COVID-19, and suddenly it happened and lockdown were imposed across the world, and the physical learning, teaching learning process stops. But digital technology came for the rescue, and we were able to provide a sustainable level of education and knowledge to our students, so that they do not lose their precious time and their education continues. But apart from that, we also face some of the issues like job related issues, due to the economic impact of COVID-19. We also faced student mental health and online psychological issues. We also faced forced digitalization of the education system in addition to the physical mode. So all these things happened and COVID-19 created a huge impact. But in addition to that, it also transformed our academic institutions to convert themselves or to create parallelly one channel so that they can be very sufficient enough to provide online teaching and learning environment to the students. And in that case, uh, the growth is remarkable. If we see the growth of online learning, then one of the important website across the world is Coursera, in which during this period the growth was immense, and right now Coursera has more than 3700 institutions which are associated with Coursera and delivering courses on Coursera, and most of them are from America, then they are in European regions, and then in India and Pacific regions are also catching up. In addition to that, we can see that on Coursera, due to the COVID-19, 2.4 more than 2.4 million students enrolled, and there were 29 million course related and enrollments, and they were mostly using or you can say that more than 70% of them were using the learning on the mobile device. So you can see that now the learning and teaching and learning process has become very dynamic. It does not need any physical space to learn. People on the mobile, they are learning, they are accessing the content, and they are uh, improving themselves, they are improving on their jobs, they are improving their skills, switching the jobs, improving their life and improving the society. So these type of things are happening, although these things happened in the forced manner, but this trend will continue, although the pace of this growth may be low. If we come to the curriculum design, uh, due to the digital technologies and the tools, then we see that digital technologies offers adaptive learning. Then the concept of learning can also be understood through the gamification, multimedia, content development, blended learning. Classroom technologies have also been developed which are making the classroom experience very efficient. E-textbook learning analytics to understand how the learning things are going on with each and every student, what happened with the previous batch, what is happening with the next batch. Then learning objectives are specifically assigned and students are accessed over that and see whether they are able to achieve those type of learning objectives or not, or what are the gaps which are being witnessed. Mobile learning, personalized learning, online learning, open educational resources are there, and most important thing is artificial intelligence and virtual reality and augmented reality learning. In content, the digital technologies have also contributed a lot by moving from a very basic board, black board or white board, to a smart boards, animation related data visualization, virtual labs, creation of videos, feedback mechanisms, instant feedback mechanisms, PPTs development, online lectures, assessment, and constant feedback, digital assessment of the students, dynamic course design, then the syllabus, and most important thing is nowadays, uh, if you are a teacher in particular course, then you are not accessed or you are not evaluated by only your student which you are teaching, but by all over the world, because your content is freely available to everybody. So across the world people will watch. If they are thinking that you are a good teacher, so you have a very good uh, means on the basis of your content you are evaluated now, and it is not a very specific domain now, it is everything is now generalized and universalized. But there are some digital means challenges also by in providing higher education using digital technologies. First and foremost is the budget limitation. Funding is not that much available, but digital technologies require huge funding. There is a lack of professional training by the academic institutions. uh, human resource development centers, poor network infrastructure, resistance to change by the faculty and the system itself, and unreliable devices and the services, because if we are using open source services, then their quality is not that much good, and if we are going for the high quality devices, then they require funding and huge resources, financial resources. And sometimes administration postponed these type of development and does not want to integrate digital technologies with the physical mode. Poor internet connectivity issue is there. There is one human absence. There is one human connection absence when you are being taught by the digital technology or some artificial intelligence agent. Then that type of situation is there. Although it may be a psychological, later on it may not be that big issue. Lack of opportunities of collaborative learning, that does not happen because technology sometimes create problems in that aspect. And how do we supervise the teachers in this case, and how do we provide feedback and means hand hold them so that they can start learning these tools. Decline of hands-on learning, and poor assessment of examination. So these are some of the challenges of digital technologies and the higher education. If we come specifically to the Indian higher education system, then Indian Higher Education Regulator University Grant Commission UGC is taking up these issues and issuing notifications and the circulars to the academic institutions so that they can uh, they they can be given more responsibilities and academic autonomy so that they can offer or they can feel little bit freedom in offer online courses and improve their digital infrastructure. In that case, UGC has offered it that academic institutions now can offer 40% of their educational content in through online courses. So that is one of the welcome step. And university UGC has also asked academic institutions that they can partner with educational technology firms to develop online courses and the content. And so this will also enhance the better things which are being developed by private firms. They can be utilized by the government academic institutions, and the specialized nature of learning at government institutions can also be utilized by the private firms. So it is win-win situation for all the stakeholders, and UGC is going in that direction. So this is all about my lecture, in which we have basically discussed how digital technologies have impacted our higher education system, and what is the present state of work and what is happening around us, how government institutions are taking up this matter, and how private companies are coming up providing services in this domain and creating some sort of challenge to the government institutions and forcing them to change and adopt to the digital technologies and transform themselves individually as well as institutionally. So I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much for attending this lecture, and if you have any doubts, you can write mail to me on my email addresses which I have mentioned on the first page. So thank you very much. I hope I'll see you soon, and I'll discuss with you in some other videos more detailed things. Thank you so much.